podcast. Colin, Daly here alongside Benjamin Goldstein. And folks, I'm not gonna say this. I'm gonna quote Ben instead. What is it? The Phillies are cooked, he says. It's been a long week in the realm of the baseball hot stove. Lots of moves, lots of disappointments, lots of controversies. We're going to discuss all that today. But Ben, you say the Phillies are cooked. I got to hear this. What's going on?
Well, we go back to mid-October. Phillies are out of the NLDS. They get eliminated by the Dodgers. Dave Dombrowski comes up to the podium and he proclaims, "We are not running it back in 2026. He's right, because they're running out a worse roster in 2026 after this week. And really, nothing is giving me hope that this roster will improve by March 26th. But here we are today. We're recording this on January 18th with a lot of bad going on with the Philadelphia Phillies and kind of Major League Baseball, because I don't know if we're going to be playing baseball in like a year and a half.
Wow, that's a take.
Which is not good.
That is not good. Now, we're going to figure out how in the world we got ourselves into this situation, like you said, Ben, with same team, but worse. I mean, it is a perplexing situation from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how we're here. We're going to break it all down. Something that is not perplexing and not ridiculous is how good SeatGeek is. Before we get into all of this, we got to thank SeatGeek, the best way to buy your tickets for any sort of event. Phillies might not be great next year, but it's always fun to go down to a ball game. They got spring training, regular season, of course, the All-Star Week. It's all on SeatGeek. You got NBA, NHL, comedy, concerts, everything you want is on SeatGeek. Go to SeatGeek. Use code Phillies Sports Report. You save $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Again, Phillies Sports Report. Con, what are we doing with that S?
Hold the S. You're going to keep it at the vacation house, which is where Dave Dombrowski spent the offseason, not working.
Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring.
Shots fired.
Sponsoring the Bell Ringers podcast. Colin.
We're only 2 minutes and 44 seconds into this episode. Not even, because you're going to edit it. And then we already are taking shots at the president of baseball operations. This is not good, Ben. We're going to get canceled.
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot in store for this.
It might be the last you see. Well, I shouldn't say us. You didn't do anything wrong. Maybe the last you see of me. Might get canceled by the Phillies clubhouse.
Can't have.
Anyway.
They might be talking about us in their group chat.
Oh, yeah. If we come up in the group chat, that is a day. That would be awesome. Yeah. I don't care if it's positive, negative, neutral. If we're in there, we're doing something right. Actually, it's probably not true whatsoever. But
it's good for us.
Exactly. We can think it. That means that when they see our names 20 years from now, they'll be like, oh, yeah, we know them.
Yeah.
Context might not be good, but yeah, that's true.
Talk crap on me in your basement when you were 18.
Exactly. All right, we're going to take a little walk down bad memory lane, but we're only going back to the beginning of the week. In fact, we're going to 4 days ago.
What a memory
5 days ago. Yeah, there's not many. So, started off when Mr. Ranger Suarez, who's been a Philly for, 7 years now, signed a 5-year, $130 million contract with the Boston Red Sox.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew Ranger wasn't coming back. The Phillies were never really interested in bringing him. I mean, of course, they would have liked to have him back, but financially didn't make sense. Goes to a place we can still root for him. So, it's good he didn't go to the Mets. Mets seem to be all over him. See what they do here with their pitching, which is still not great. But yeah, Ranger goes there. All-time great left-handed Philly, all-time great postseason performer in Phillies history. So it was fun having Ranger here while we did, but was never gonna come to terms with a 5-year 130 here in Philadelphia with how good this pitching rotation is supposed to be in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, and the Red Sox did have like a pretty, they had a pretty big hole in their starting pitching rotation. I know now they're probably going to be on the hunt for some bats for the rest of the offseason, but I'll say I'm disappointed the Phillies lost on Ranger. I mean, you're right, Ben. We weren't going to get him, but he'd been my favorite Philly for a while, and I don't know who I'm going to turn to now. Guess I'll have to have like tryouts or something. I'm taking applications if you're a Phillies player and listening to this. So
Yeah.
if you have a
If you want to
reason
be
why
If
you
you want
should
to
be
be
my
Colin's
favorite,
favorite player, reach out. PSR inquiries at
yeah.
gmail.com
Or
is
you
the
can just submit a job application on the
we could do
website.
that. We could do that.
And if your name is a Phillies player, I think we'll figure out what you're actually requesting.
Yeah. Just put in like the
Where
description of your application applying to be Colin's new favorite.
there's an other box for what you want to cover. That's perfect for that.
There you go. There you go. You can throw that
That's
in. I want to be
perfect.
Colin's favorite Phil. Um, yeah, at least he's not a Met. That's really my only
This
takeaway
is
from
true.
this.
Yeah, no, me too. We can see him from afar. It's a good
Is
thing.
Ranger Suarez a Phillies Wall of Famer? I don't know. It's a tough case.
Oh, I love Ranger, but I don't think so.
I think he's not long. He's not here long enough.
And look at the names that are up there. I mean, it's like all-time
Yeah,
greats.
it's true.
It's names that like casual Phillies fans will look at and recognize
Plus
from
Scott
their
Rowland.
childhood. Well, yeah, but are you gonna look? Do you think like the average kid in your high school, okay, like normal kid in your high school, not to sound like
Yeah.
stereotyping or whatever, but you know what I mean, would like look at the Wall of Fame 40 years from now and be like, oh yeah, Ranger Suarez, he was good back in the day? Or are they gonna be like, I don't remember who that is? I'm guessing the latter.
I mean, I think a lot of people know Ranger just because of his postseason and like he's just a cool he's just like fun to watch. Like you go out there, throw a couple 91-mile-per-hour fastballs, and then throw a 12-6 curve that makes someone look silly in the playoffs. Like I don't know, he's fun to watch. I think
Good changeup.
the end of his Phillies tenure was just very bizarre with how he was handled in the postseason. He's out there games 1 and 2 in the bullpen, isn't used when he should be. He comes out of the bullpen in game 3. Obviously, him and Nola team up for a good game 3 winner, but I
I
don't know.
mean,
Like I feel like if Rangers utilize in certain situations in games 1 and 2, there's a chance we're having a much different conversation about this Phillies team right now.
yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't know. The kids at your high school must be more into it than my high school because, like, I think the average kid can name like Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, maybe Bryson Stott.
I mean, maybe the average kid in 40 years be like, oh, like it'll like click back, like, oh, Rangers horse. But like,
Yeah,
I don't know if we're all going to 100% like remember. I mean, we will, a couple other Phils people will, but like, it's gonna be like one of those names where it's like, oh, Ranger Suarez, like he was good for a couple seasons. He was great for a couple seasons. But
for
anyway,
sure. Yeah.
that's not the biggest domino that has fallen for the Phillies in this week.
No, no, no. It got a lot larger, a lot pricier in terms of the dominoes. All right, let's get there. Kyle Tucker, the team that no one wants to see sign a player. 4 years. Anyone who didn't see the news want to take a guess at the number? I didn't like it. Ben didn't like it. $240 million. What is that math? $60 million
60 million
a
a year.
year.
There's
Gross.
I believe a little bit of it is deferred, so it's really like 56, 57 million a year. I was not trying to make the 6
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it really Ben, or did you just
It
have it because you
actually
wanted to
is.
say that?
This sucks. Like it's the first kind of scenario with the Dodgers where it's like, all right, this is ridiculous. Because you look back at the Freddie Freeman thing, Braves let him walk. Dodgers picked up on it. Mookie Betts was traded to the Dodgers. Ohtani, Angels didn't sign him. Nobody else was willing to give that number. Dodgers did. This Kyle Tucker contract is absurd. It's
Yeah.
4 years, 200 like $60 million a year for a guy who has had injury issues. Seems to be like doesn't love baseball, like not to the Anthony Rendon extent, but you've kind of heard some murmurs about that. And like he's a 5-tool player, can do a little bit of everything, but he's never had that superstar season where he should be getting this type of contract. So, I mean, a positive is he didn't go to the Mets. Obviously, the best turnout would have been to Toronto, but we thought this would have helped the Phillies with Bo Bichette. However, it completely changed Bo's mind on what a possible contract could look like. And the team that missed out on Kyle Tucker is the one that really screwed the Phillies. So Kyle Tucker, this contract really messed up the Phillies. Also, this contract is opt-outs for Tucker after years 2 and 3.
I have a feeling he'll be taking those, but who knows?
I don't know if you're living in LA, winning World Series.
I don't know, but I mean, he's had these rumors about him. His, I don't know what I call it, his disgruntled attitude. Does he really want to be doing this, or just want to collect his? That would be what? So $120 million to be making, and just get on his way and go jump ship and play somewhere else for a year or two? I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever really know. But
Kyle Tucker caught the last out of the 2022 World Series, people.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that. But yeah, and it kind of destroyed the whole market because, like you said, like changed the Bichette signings and changed future signings.
This is completely changing how contracts are going to look forever. Like baseball has always been, at least since the Manny Machado, Bryce Harper contract years 2019, 2020, or 2018, 2019, has been the long stretched out contracts with not crazy AAV, but a lot of money over a lot of years. I mean, it came out the Phillies tried to offer Harper a 20-year contract this week, which is just ridiculous. But now this is kind of like an NBA contract or an NFL quarterback type of contract. It's a short-term deal with a lot of money.
Right. And the Blue Jays did offer Tucker a 10-year deal, but he was only making like 30, 40 million a year compared to the
40 million.
compared to the 60 he's making in Los Angeles, which that number is, like we've said probably 5 times now, is ridiculous. Like, for some context here, he is making more AAV wise than double Bryce Harper's salary. He's making, I think, 27 a year. I don't have that written down in my notes, but I think 27 is what Harper makes a year.
It's like, I mean, 25 to 27. It's like, it might fluctuate.
25.3.
Yeah,
you're right. 25. That is ridiculous. That would be.
It's just, this is, I've always tried not defend the Dodgers for what they've been building, but this is the evil empire. This is changing baseball as we know it. It's going to bring serious discussions next offseason in the new collective bargaining agreement, where players are not going to agree to a salary cap. The owners are going to want a salary cap. This contract is what's going to be brought up in whatever sort of discussion and debate is happening next season, because there's not a lot of teams that are going to be able to do this. And, it's good for them. They're spending the money. They have the money because they play in LA. They won back-to-back World Series. They're probably going to win a third this year. It sucks, but
it does.
It ended up really messing up the Phillies as well.
I mean, do you want monopolies in baseball? I hope not. I know for a fact I wouldn't want to see that for a guy who hit what 266 last year, 22 home runs.
Kyle Tucker's never had a wow year. Like, he's a very good baseball player, but
for sure, yeah.
I mean, he was definitely the best available player on the market. But for $60 million a year, nobody deserves $60 million a year.
No, for real. I mean, it's insane. All right, let's keep traveling, because did we have deja vu? Just
what is this? 15 hours later?
Yeah, I'm gonna say not even a day later. This time it's not 4 years; it's 3 years and $126 million for Bo Bichette to, this is the worst part, the New York Mets. Oh no. This is not good.
Oh no. Here's the kicker in this deal is the Phillies have gone public that they do not offer opt-outs in contracts. The players probably knew this. The public never knew this. Now they know it. Bo Bichette has opt-outs after years 1 and 2 in this deal. The MLB in 2 days sees 2 huge dollar short-term deals with opt-outs. It's Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette. They have opportunities to explore the market again and get another payday. Phillies were never going to give an opt-out because they don't do that. They gave him exactly what he wanted, the 7 years, $200 million. But he gets the ability to go search the market with New York, get some more money per year, and there you have it.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I don't know where my anger goes. If it goes to the Mets, if it goes to Bichette, if it goes to the Phillies, but the Phillies, no matter what, they got played.
They did, and you know what? I don't even blame Bichette because it gives you the flexibility you want. He can choose to stay there for 10 months, and he will collect 42 million. Yeah, $42 million in those 10 months. Not even. He could do 8 months, be done by September, and stay in New York. Or he can be there for 3 years and make 9 figures. So he gets the flexibility he wants. And yeah, he gets a ridiculous amount more money than if he signs a contract like what the Phillies were offering. Because while $200 million sounds great, he is missing out on, if he were to come to Philadelphia, AAV wise, that would be $13.5 million. So, like, the disparity is pretty clear. If he wants the flexibility and he wants more money, you typically don't get both of those things. Like, there aren't many professions where you can have flexible, we'll call them quote unquote hours, or in this case, it's years, months, whatever, while also having a higher salary. Usually, the higher salary jobs are more demanding. Somehow, that is not the case in baseball. So why would you even sign these Harper, Turner, Machado-esque contracts when, I mean, this seems to be becoming the new norm and is a lot more marketable?
I think it's different. I don't know. I feel like it depends on where you
It depends
are
on your situation.
In your
life.
Situation like Harper was, and Trey Turner. They were like, developing their families and didn't really want to travel anywhere. You get the stability for the rest of your career. You build a home. You build a family. Bichette is 27. Kind of in that area. I mean, him and Harper kind of signed at similar times. But I don't know. Like, I feel like it really just depends on your situation.
And I mean, not to make this into like a sociology podcast, but I think some people like that. Like, the idea of moving around, trying out new teams, new places, new divisions, new bosses, new coworkers. Like, some people really enjoy that kind of thing. I mean, there's professions where they just travel all the time. So that might be his thing.
I don't know. I got a theory.
Let's hear it.
I don't think the Phillies were ever the number one for Bo Bichette.
I don't think so either.
Because you go back to when these rumors started, which was what? Early January. It was like out of nowhere. The Phillies are the top team for Bo Bichette. Like, the Phillies were showing interest, which made sense. Then out of nowhere, they became the number one. They jumped the Blue Jays, they jumped the Dodgers, they jumped the Red Sox, they jumped the Cubs, they jumped the Mets, they jumped the Yankees, they jumped everybody. And it was very strange how that kind of happened. They're the number one. Bo Bichette is undoubtedly a Philadelphia Philly. He's going to Philadelphia, no doubt in the mind. He has the meeting, virtual meeting, I mind you, on, what was that, a week ago? And out of nowhere, he's a New York Met. If the Phillies gave him exactly what he wanted, why didn't he sign it? If they were really the top team, wouldn't you think he would have just taken it? I think it was a lot of. You see this all the time. The Mets were in on Kyle Schwarber. That was never real. That was a threat for the Phillies to give more money to Kyle Schwarber because everyone knew Schwarber wasn't going anywhere. And he was just trying to get the most money out of the Phillies. Bichette, hey guys, Phillies are giving Bo Bichette exactly what he wants. Give him more money. You'll go to your team. That's what we got, I think. I don't know.
I can see it.
I'm making this up, but it's a totally real thing that could have happened. And it's just so bizarre how all these reporters were being fed the same information at the same time.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I mean, I think that could also I think that could also be a function of what exactly do you define as team showing the most interest or the top team, I think is how it was phrased. Because that could also be this is the team that's doing the most negotiation. But I mean, as we saw by the contract the Phillies offered and the contract he eventually signed with the Mets, they were vastly different. So just because they were negotiating could have been misinterpreted by the media as the top team, when it feels like Bichette never really got what he was looking for with Philadelphia.
I think, I mean, he may have taken this 7-year, $200 million deal. I think it really depended on what Kyle Tucker was going to get. The Phillies were never going to do a short-term high AAV deal with opt-outs. It was never going to happen. You see, whatever night it was, Kyle Tucker, or Thursday night, Kyle Tucker signs his deal. The very next day, Bo Bichette goes from a long-term deal to a short-term deal with opt-outs with high AAV. So a
Yeah, I
big
mean,
problem with it is the Phillies are so stuck on the no opt-outs and the long-term deals, and it's going to have to change, because that is not how the market is going to be in the future. This is the new way of baseball: short-term, high AV with opt-outs, and the Phillies are going to have to adjust their free agent strategy if they want to get these stars that are out there, because they missed out on Bo Bichette and signed JT Realmuto for a pretty big deal for what he really should be getting. And there's been something they missed out on the Japanese talent they were looking for this offseason. You don't see Dave Dombrowski miss out on many big guys. They went 0-2 with the big names this year. You don't always see that. And they didn't do anything. I mean, Schwarber, but that was that was kind of a gift. I'm saying guys that were out there that were not originally Phillies, like Bo Bichette and Emo.
Right.
Where now you've brought back the two that were the big names that were already on your team, that were both kind of givens to return depending on
right. But yeah, and I think you're right, Ben. I mean, Bichette, not to oversimplify, but Bichette saw the contract with Tucker signed. I was like, hey, that sounds pretty nice. I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon. That's what he did. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but I think you're gonna start to see that trend a lot throughout Major League Baseball. I mean, I really do think that's gonna become our new norm, which, like you said, is not really conducive to these, small market teams. Like the first team I always think of is the Tampa Bay Rays, right? There's not only did their stadium get torn apart, but they've always been the team that has I think it was Zach Eflin at one point when he signed with the Tampa Bay Rays was the highest paid player in the history of their organization. Now, have been around for a long time, but you think back to, I think they were established in what, 80s, 90s? Right. So if you think back to 97, how many guys did the Phillies signed for contracts equal to or greater than the 30-some million dollar contract with a $15 million AAV that Eflin signed? I'm just throwing numbers out there, but I think it was
Nick
around there.
Castellanos was one of them.
Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper. Trey Turner. JT Realmuto.
Zach Wheeler,
Wheeler, Taiwan Walker. The list is extensive. It's ridiculous. You can even go back to the days of Ryan Howard. All of these fall into that category. Granted, the market was so much different when Howard signed in 2010. So, right. And that happened in 2022, 23. I mean, this is a ridiculous burden to these teams. The Reds are another one. So
there's so many, and it's going to change, whether that is a salary cap or a salary floor, and it's going to come at a cost of what could be an entire season of baseball, where it really nobody wants to hear that, but that's the truth. The players are never going to agree to this. Everyone's losing out on money. But the owner, like, it makes sense because you have the Dodgers with a $1 billion payroll. You have the Mets, who are having a very bizarre offseason, but have Juan Soto, Bo Bichette, and Francisco Lindor all on the same team on massive contracts. Even the Phillies are part of the problem. Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, the pitching rotation that they have, like, it's the big market teams that are doing what they're able to do. And, like, you look at it, it's really not fair. Like, you look, I mean, some teams in other sports have figured it out. The Eagles do a great job keeping under the salary cap and developing great talent and getting younger. It's going to change the entire aspect of Major League Baseball. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's going to change one way or another, and we might not be playing baseball in the summer of 2027. It's just going to be how it is. And so enjoy this season of 2026, even though the Phillies might not be good, because we might not be seeing baseball for like 2 years. Which
it's a sad reality.
Easy to say.
But we've seen it once recently, so.
Yeah, I mean, go back to 94? Like,
yeah,
they lost an entire season. It's like,
it's wild.
It's very, and there is no stronger union than the MLB Players Association.
Oh God, no! I mean, I remember that's when we first started our podcast, was during the lockout. I mean, that was brutal. And every day there was a new disagreement between the parties. I mean, it was ridiculous. All right, well, let's get to.
I want to look at this Mets team really quickly.
Yeah, let's do it.
Lindor, Semien, Jorge Polanco, Bo Bichette, Mark Vientos, Brett Beatty. This entire team is middle infielders.
Yeah, it's problematic.
It's very bizarre.
I think they can move.
They'll figure it out. Like, Jorge Polanco's going to play
Vientos
first base.
can get moved around.
Bichette's playing third. Like, it's just like
right.
Very bizarre what they're doing.
But they've got some scary bats in there too.
Their outfield is terrible, outside of Juan Soto. The pitching is young and will be better. I mean, the bullpen is terrible, but
I wonder what they're going to do with Senga. He's been all over the place.
Yeah, I don't.
He's a mess.
Weird. The Mets are doing weird things, but
like
this, in all essence, this Bo Bichette signing makes no sense.
No, I'm curious to see what their opening day lineup looks like, because they've got the names. I don't know how they're going to put all the pieces of that puzzle together, though.
And Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor don't like each other, so.
Well, yeah, it's also.
I don't know, if you're a Met fan, is this Bo Bichette signing like, because they're still angry about not bringing back Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil and
Pete Alonso? They should have known they were going to get Pete Alonso. He chose to leave. That's not that. That's out of their control. You should be ashamed of yourselves, because clearly he didn't want to play there.
I wouldn't want to play in Queens. Come on, man.
Oh, I was there. The summer was gross.
Terrible.
Well, that bridge is scary too, but that's a separate conversation.
How'd the Phillies respond to Bo Bichette?
Well, they said, "Oh, let's just follow the leader," and they signed JT Realmuto, Gramps, for 3 years and $45 million. Now,
incentives could get up to $60 million.
Yeah, but this contract is not as insane as the rest of them. He's getting $15 to $20 million a year. The 20s if he gets all the incentives. He leads the game, calling pitches behind the plate. His bat is still there for a catcher, not as good as it once was, but old George Strait quote there. But I think it's a good signing. I know you disagree, Ben. We'll get into that later.
Well,
but
all right. I don't totally disagree that it was a bad signing. 35-year-old catcher coming off his worst offensive season of his career, where he's dealt with injuries, and you give him exactly what he wanted. There was no market for him. Like, if there was no market, you wait it out where there's nothing, and then you give him, we'll give you 1 year, $10 million. You know, like, we'll give you 2 years, $20 million. Like, if there's nothing there, he has to sign something at some point. and you go out and give him exactly what he wanted 2 hours after you lose Bo Bichette, like they panicked. They absolutely panicked with this, and it's embarrassing. It is the Phillies should be embarrassed. Like in all essence, if this deal was signed in December, we're all happy. JT Realmuto was the best catcher out there, but when you lose out on Bo Bichette and then you give JT exactly what he wanted after straight up telling the Phillies that I don't want what you're giving me, which is like whatever. It's just like you can't roll over if you're the Phillies and just pivot back to JT and give him what you want, what he wanted. 35 years old. He's going to be 38 and you're paying him $15 million a year to catch. Like that doesn't hold up.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it could be a courtesy move. He served the organization well for what, 5 years now. So I mean, it could have something to do with that. But at the same time, yeah, like it is embarrassing because it's a panic move, right? It was a poor response to we didn't get our guy. We need to do something to, kind of to push back. But they didn't actually push anything. Nothing anyone can see through this.
And also another thing is like I'm looking at it. Phillies missed out on the two big guys that we're going to spend big money on outside of Schwarber. It was Imai and it was Bo Bichette. They missed out on both of them. All right, whatever. A lot of the big blocks in that were the Tama Walker contract and then a Castellanos contract. Those two are coming off the books this year. I mean, Castellanos is not going to be on this team, but you're going to have to carry his $20 million in dead money. He's going to get cut. Nobody wants him. So you got those two contracts coming off the books. You got a lot. You would have had a lot of open money next year. Why don't you save the money and let JT walk at this point? And then you have what you have a catcher. Like this lineup as it is not good. It is what it is a catcher. Maybe you sign someone for kind of cheap. Go out there, see what you got. And then you recoup in 2027.
What are the Phillies doing with Taiwan Walker?
At this point, he's going to have to be in the rotation.
Yeah.
Unless Andrew Painter's ready to go.
That contract.
Like, unless Andrew Painter's ready to go, then it's going to have to be Taiwan Walker.
Yikes, that's terrifying. I can't stand that guy. I don't even think it's his baseball anymore. He always has something to complain about, but he never has anything to show for it. That's like bothersome in my world.
What do you know about this is contract year? Contract year, Taiwan Walker.
He better be good.
So I don't know. Like this is just like I like JT Realmuto. I do. He's come up big in the playoffs. He had a really good playoff actually this last year. He still has the best pop time in baseball. The hitting isn't good anymore. The framing is horrible. The defense really is not elite like it once was. But he's a big reason to the pitching success. He's a big reason to what Zach Wheeler became, Ranger Suarez. He calls very good games. And he was the best free agent catcher out there. However, to roll over like they did and give him exactly what he wanted after you lose on a Bo Bichette, I can't find a better word than embarrassing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's bad.
And like if they did this in December, it's fine, as I said. But you look at it now and it's like, are you serious? And he has no market. It came out. JT Realmuto was no market. You didn't have to give him what he wanted.
I didn't even hear I heard 0 teams the whole offseason. They were serious, none. I mean, yeah, they were like good fit. No offers, no negotiations, no meetings. Not even a phone call came out.
I don't know.
They had the time.
I don't know where the Phillies go from here. Like they just embarrassed themselves. Nick Castellanos is still here. Like they could look at Bader, but like they've said this outfield is set with Brandon Marsh, Jessica Crawford, and Dolis Garcia. Like, do they still trade? Yeah. Do they still try to trade Bohm, or do you just keep this team again for the 5th year in a row?
I know I've gone on this rant before, but it's a terrible message to send. It enables excuses. That's what it does. There's an expectation to perform, and if you're going to bring back the same guys year after year, become performance blind, You're just enabling excuses. That's all you're doing. It's not sustainable.
They could still trade Bohm and try to get a cleanup hitter. And like the one thing the Phillies, like if you signed Bichette, that was going to completely change the aspect of this lineup. It was going to give someone behind Harper. It was just going to it was going to be one of those signings. Like I'll give it. Bichette is not the elite of the elite players in the MLB, but he could have came here and just changed everything. Right as a scoring position, he's elite. It finally gives some protection for Bryce Harper as a right-handed bat. Like, it was just going to change things. And now we sit here with the same team. Last year, Phillies cleanup hitters. Nick Castellanos for 50 games. JT Realmuto for 43. Kyle Schwarber for 37. Alec Boehm for 26. Max Kepler for 3. Brandon Marsh for 3. By the way, Max Kepler suspended 80 games with PEDs, which is just, I don't even know. As a team, the Phillies hit 242 with a 312 on base and a 408 slug. The 720 OPS from the 4-hole in 2025. Typically behind Bryce Harper. And they didn't fix that problem. Bryce Harper wasn't good this year because he didn't get pitched to. Because the guys behind him were not, were incompetent.
And Harper swings. That's his thing. It makes sense.
How do you have a $300 million team without a cleanup hitter?
Who's behind your best player? Doesn't make sense.
Outbound.
Well, that doesn't work. 2 guys that signed this week would have worked.
Issues, Colin. What do they do now? Nothing? There's not
What
much.
can you do? Yeah, I must have go back in time. I don't know. Oh God, no. No. I don't want Bellinger's a loose cannon. Up and down. He's up. He's way too up and down.
I know Arizona said they're not trying Ketel Marte, but
that would be a good fit.
Give him another ring. He's not going.
That would be a good fit. But yeah, he's not going anywhere. So
Phillies are cooked, as we started the show with.
Phillies are cooked. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's gonna be an interesting year. I mean, they got a dump Castellanos that should get them some flexibility. But like you said, the outfield's set. They don't seem. I haven't heard anything about Bohm in the last few weeks. I don't think Stott's going anywhere. You got Trey Turner. You got Bryce Harper. What? I mean, are there
whatever they do is not going to be what the next thing they do, if anything, is not going to be substantial. It's going to be a bench bat that could maybe never even see the light of day. It could be a 5th starter that probably won't do much. But I don't know. Like Bichette clears some space for Aiden Miller to come up. We could see Andrew Panther opening day. I don't know. All I know is that the Phillies raised ticket prices a ton this year and gave us no reason to attend.
Pretty accurate.
Opening day game plan went from a 3-game plan to a 6-game plan this year.
Oh, jeez. That's terrible.
Yeah. So, and single game tickets go on sale this week. Would have been nice if they gave a reason for people to buy tickets, other than a Philly Fanatic T-shirt giveaway.
I like the ice cream cups. I collect those.
You're going to spend $90 to go get an ice cream cup, Colin?
And not pay another $10 for it when I'm there. It's not even free.
There you go. It's like probably like $15-$20 now. You're going to spend $115 on ice cream in a ball game.
Yeah, that's not.
And parking. Don't forget parking is like $30.
And there's gas. Then there's food.
And you got
I'm just gonna wait like 2 weeks, and I'll be under 500, and I'll just buy them from a third-party source, such as SeatGeek.
There you go.
Where else would I get them from?
There you go.
And they'll be a lot cheaper, and you should too, because it helps us out to make better podcasts, which is what we all want, and better articles and all the stuff you can find on our social medias and our website.
There you go. Good plug. All right, that's going to do it. We got any closing thoughts on this somber episode of the Bell Ringers podcast?
No, right now all I can think about is I have like all the different sizes of the Phillies hats. I don't know where they are. There's like the nacho one and the ice cream one. Then I've got like one that fits on my head, and I have them like nested in each other, but I don't know where they are. So I need to figure that out.
All
That's
right,
my
well,
only
maybe
thought.
next
I'm trying not
episode.
to think about them.
Episode, since probably nothing's going to happen, Colin's going to go through his helmets. Oh, you might be finding them right now.
Am I? I don't even know. No. Oh, I found the Kit Kat bar. Where the hell that is?
All right. Colin finds it.
We're getting
That's
distracted.
That's going to do it for the Bell Ringers podcast. Thank you all for watching and listening. Thank you to SeatGeek. Follow us on social media. Hopefully we'll be talking about something positive